right, and welcome back. It's episode 4
of the Unnamed Podcast.
Yeah, I can't believe we're a month into this thing.
I know. We've been having so much fun.
We have, and we've really appreciated everybody's engagement and participation and questions and all that good stuff.
And the stories have been
awesome. And the
stories,
yes. I love it when we share our experiences and then a viewer, a listener will respond with theirs. And we get to kind of experience it together, which is really cool.
Exactly. And the stories have been awesome, you guys. So keep them coming.
Please do. Absolutely. So what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about vinyl horror stories.
Oh, interesting. I had no idea what this was going to be about until just now. Vinyl horror stories.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some coming to mind already.
So, like, warped records in the mail.
Oh,
melted.
Perish the thought.
Melted them in the car.
Oh, okay.
Needle drops that just right across.
Ooh, yeah. That's always painful.
Pressing errors. Effect. Yeah, thanks. Static shock.
Static shock is always a fun one. I got one that's coming to mind. Should I start with
flood or fire damage?
Yeah, dirt, quote unquote. On a record.
Turntable mishaps.
Okay.
Like you just like crash one down out of the closet.
So if you're listening to this, which you probably are if you're hearing my voice, I would get your stories ready. I've got mine already starting. So can I start with one?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this goes back. Actually, this is regarding the channel. So I remember back when, I guess it was like 2018 or so. And a guy I worked with had a dual turntable, and he's like,
I remember this.
You remember this?
Oh yeah.
He's like, hey, you want to review this on your channel? I thought you'd have fun with it. I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. And I had no experience with dual turntables, and it was very apparent. So there's a video. If you go back, dig deep in the archive, I think it's called My Duel with a Dual.
Yeah.
D-U-A-L or D-U-E-L with a D-U-A-L. And I think I did 2 or 3 videos because it turned into a saga. So the fatal mistake I made is I put the thing in the back of the car, but I put it behind the axle, which was the big mistake, in the trunk.
And keep in mind, it was working before this.
Oh, yeah. It was in perfect condition before this. And I put it behind the axle, which is a fatal mistake. It should have gone in the back seat. It should have been strapped into the back seat. So
probably with like cushions.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just put it loosely in the back of this, and it wasn't a huge vehicle, but it was an SUV. So, there was room in the back.
Yeah.
And it was a long drive. I mean, we worked far away from where we lived, and it was an hour and a half jostling in the car.
Yeah, I was going to say, and a bumpy one at that.
Yeah, and a bumpy one at that. And I didn't realize at the time that anything really had happened. But I remember when I pulled it out and put it on the table, I went to go review it, and I went to go put the record on. The spindle was up too high, and you couldn't put the record down on it because the spindle was what I found out to be out of place. And that started 3 weeks of a nightmare because it wasn't my equipment. It was not, and it was his like prized turntable.
Yeah.
And I had to return it in good condition. Well, what had happened is all sorts of parts had jostled out of place. If you've never had a dual before, they're built like clocks. They're mechanical with very little electro. Mostly they're watches. They're like clocks. And all kinds of little gears and little levers and little things had popped out of place, and it was not working. The auto start and stop. I didn't know anything about automatics and duals and how they worked. And so I had the service manual out, looking and inspecting and trying to figure this out. And weeks had gone by.
Yeah, I was going to say, it became like an entire project.
Yeah.
Like an entire
saga. Weeks had gone by, and I finally had to tell him, I'm like, look, dude, I have a problem with this, and I'm trying my best to get it sorted out. I didn't even know if I could at that point get it sorted out, but I was like going to try. So he was very gracious. Eventually we got there, but yeah, that was.
Yeah.
You remember. I mean, I don't need to tell you.
Right.
You remember.
Yeah. And I had forgotten about that until you just said about that. And then that was a few weeks of our life right there.
Other moments come to mind are breaking Glenn Miller records, 78s, prized 78s. The thing about it is this. When I being a Glenn Miller fan for a long time, I had been seeking, Glenn Miller records in the wild, actual 78s, especially Bluebird. So when I finally did find them years later, they were very special to me. I didn't realize at the time, having not handled a lot of 78s, how much extra care you have to take. One of the things I learned the very, very hard way was that you cannot put a 78 in a spin clean. They're just too thick and they'll snap. And I broke a Glenn Miller doing that. I broke another Glenn Miller. I've broken like 2 or 3 Glenn Miller 78s, which, I don't even, the trash is even so valuable of what the crumbled pieces. I was like holding on to them for a couple of years until I'm like, what are you going to do with this? But yeah, those were painful. Breaking your own stuff.
Yeah. The one that came to my mind was the other day when you were in the storage room working and broke one of your large discs.
Oh yeah, one of the transcription records.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so dumb. So I had made the mistake of putting one of those. In fact, we were just talking about this on the live the other day. If you haven't seen the live, go check it out. We had a good time. And I made the mistake of, they're big. I mean, the 16-inch transcription records, they're like awkward. You can't put them in a bin or in a like a crate. You know what I mean? Like there's no place to put them. And so you kind of have to hang them on a wall or have some specialized storage. And so what I ended up doing was leaning it in the floor of the storage room up against something, which is dumb. Don't have it anywhere near your feet. It was a very clown-like experience of how the problem came to be. It was like the Three Stooges in this closet. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. It fell over. It got stuck to something in a weird way. It snapped off, and I still have it though, because I'm like probably 13 or 14 inches of this 16-inch disc are still playable. I couldn't bear to throw it away. But yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
I'm the worst. And, people, we've gotten feedback that I'm like a bull in a china shop. I'm too rough. And I admitted it the other day. I know I am, even with my own stuff, not just other people's stuff. Yeah. I'm like a bull in a china shop. I have to protect my records from me.
Right.
It's true.
So true.
It's true.
But it's so much that when you come to my side of the office, I'm afraid of what's going to happen.
Oh yeah. It's it happens too. Although you've collected those little mini pops and you've got a shelf that's too small for them.
Yeah,
and so
this is true.
You've knocked your chair into it and they come raining down too. So
yeah, that's
it
fair.
hurts to break your own stuff. It hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, so I can keep going. I mean, do you want to hear more disaster stories?
Sure. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I wasn't sure if there was another thing we were going to do. So let's see. What else have I done? I've dropped my favorite turntable, which
you snapped your Stylus.
Gosh, I've broken so many styli. But the LP3 turntable, the automatic, at the time was my absolute favorite. And I was moving it in or out of storage, and I dropped it on its side. I was holding it under one arm, and it just slid down my leg and landed on its side, cracked the dust cover, sold that off or donated it, I forget which. And I miss it, even though it probably was still in perfect condition except for the dust cover. But my OCD mind I can't have a cracked dust cover and still be okay with it, even though it still works fine, even though there's no problem with it. Just knowing that it's not perfect, which is weird when I take into consideration what I just said about how clumsy I am. I'm clumsy and I have no tolerance for broken things. So it's amazing I have anything, but boy, do I have stuff. And what she was talking about too was the styli. I have broken. I mean, we've all accidentally dropped the tone arm on a felt mat, or, banged it up against something. At least I think we have. But I have snapped off styli. One of the most painful, not physically, just emotionally painful moments of doing that is I have this very nice Ortophone OM78 phono cartridge. It's a mono cartridge designed to play 78. It's got the 3mm stylus, and I loved it. I did videos about it, of course. Everything I've done videos about. But I was fiddling with it, and my thumb caught under the cantilever and just popped it off. And a replacement stylus is well over $100 and not getting any cheaper. And I have the cartridge, but no stylus on it because of that. So what did I do? I bought, this is actually kind of really funny. I think I've got it right here. No, that's not it. I replaced it with a 3600, which I bought a mono, but not a mono. You can't do a mono stylus, but I got a 3mm wide groove stylus for the 3600, and I was doing videos with that. It sounded okay as well. It was a stereo cartridge, so it wasn't optimal for playing mono records, but it worked. Until I did the same thing. It snapped a cantilever right off of that thing.
Wow.
I currently don't have one, and I'm not asking for another one either because I'll just break it.
Oh, no.
So it's probably best if I just avoid.
I don't know if that's true.
Right now, the way to play 78s is I've got a couple of portables with flip styli. The 49 Philco has the Sonotone cartridge, it's 78 wide groove stylus on there, but yeah, it hurts to break your own stuff. Disasters. So what were some of the other types of disasters that were on the list?
Like if you've melted any in the car, or...
Do you remember the time we did the record bowls? We did a show on record bowls. And
yeah, but that was on purpose.
Yeah, but somebody's like, don't do that because like it's like putrid gas.
Like toxic.
Toxins or... That's all I need. It's like, some kind of putrid
live and
methane
learn, right?
or whatever.
Not a good idea.
Don't do that. I should retract my idea of that.
I mean,
but it was entertaining. Since other people are also like, it's fine, but it's not food safe, so don't eat popcorn out of it or whatever.
Obviously, yeah.
I kept that bowl though.
There's a hole in it too, from where the...
Yeah. I've seen them like quote unquote professionally done though, where they actually like shellac the whole thing, and so there's enough shellac to cover the hole. Okay. But I used it for a trinket.
Ours wasn't that.
No, I used it for a trinket tray.
Right.
Until it finally cracked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it was already a scratched record.
Oh yeah, it was. No harm was done. So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay, what about flood or fire damage? No.
We've definitely acquired records from like thrift stores and stuff that you could tell had water damage. Yeah. We've kept our records safe, which is good, but definitely have come across sleeves and things that are mucked up. I remember we did this video demonstrating cleaning the world's dirtiest record, something to that effect, and it was so heinously dirty. People are like, why would you like get the physical mud off before?
So gross.
Yeah, like get the physical mud off before you spin clean. It was for the sensational aspect of the show. But mud, and is it mud? You wonder, is it mud? It smells earthy, and it smells like a drain pipe.
Why did you smell it?
Well, I'm curious. Every guy's going to smell it. To make sure.
So gross.
Okay. Everybody listening, if you saw a questionable cleanliness, right, wouldn't you smell it? I would smell it.
Ladies, we would not.
Anyway, yeah. So no flood or fire damage except for some like fairly minor, damage to the sleeves. There's a few that get so bad, like I have to throw them out.
Now, have you ever purchased a record where like you received something that was not what you paid for? Like they show it as a decent condition or something, and then you end up with like a horrible situation?
A good question. I don't think I've ever had a situation where I felt like cheated, like, the record wasn't as described. Really, I've had it with some baseball card stuff I've bought, but that's a separate show. But I have had it a lot where I am undisciplined, even, at this stage in my hobbyism of records, where I don't check when I'm at a record store. I get so excited. I don't check to make sure that's really the record inside. Right. So I've bought empty sleeves. I've bought wrong records. In fact, even just recently when I was doing
laser discs.
Or laser disc. I knew that was a laser disc, all right?
Oh, okay.
But I have had the momentary, like, is this a real soundtrack? I didn't know they made this. It's a laser disc. Oh, I see. But even the Connie Francis records I bought recently when we did that world's largest record store, there was one that wasn't the right record. It was still a Connie Francis record, so it wasn't the one advertised. So you need to check your record sleeves to make sure that the records inside are the right ones.
And that they're in good condition, guys.
Now, in your record collecting, enough about me. But did you take good care of your records when you had records as a kid?
Not at all. No. Most
kids do.
Because you don't understand.
No, at the time,
what it's all about. It's just like...
There's no concept of that. It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
Use it up, burn it out. And...
Go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, we are coming to the close of yet another show. It goes fast. It's fun chatting with you guys.
Yes, leave your stories below of what your vinyl horror stories are.
I know you've got some good ones. Any live animals, bugs in your sleeves, or...
Oh, my.
I've heard people finding odd and disturbing things in their record sleeves. You know.
Oh yeah,
that
like
happens.
especially probably when you buy them from like a thrift store or something like that.
Who knows, right? Who knows or whatever. So anyway, that is a little bit of a hook, and we're gonna leave it at that. And thank you guys so much for being there. We appreciate you. Got a lot of fun stuff heading your way, and we'll be back next week with another episode of the Unnamed Podcast. But that's gonna do it for now. So we'll see you next time.
Yep, we'll see you next time.